Hello and welcome to Quilt Addicts Anonymous. I'm Stephanie Sebbing. Today we've got some more new fabric in the shop. We just have had so much new stuff lately that we're going to share it. It is Bright Side by Wishwell for Robert Kaufman. It's really pretty. It's digitally printed. It's a great collection for spring. As I film this, there is a snow advisory for late April in the Midwest where I'm from, so this is really brightening my mood today, and I'm sure it will brighten yours as well. We're going to take a look at the collection and look at the pieces a little bit closer. But first, I want to show you this panel. So each panel has two of these big squares in it, and they have each of the different colors that you're going to find in the fat quarter bundle as well. We've got that pink, fuchsia color, and then we have that nice violet, and then the really bright green, and sort of this electric, really deep blue as well. And so you have that on one side, and then it repeats on the opposite side as well. And whenever we cut panels, we unfold it and we make sure that we're cutting right down the line for you. That way you're able to really fussy cut and get the most out of it. Takes a little bit of extra time, but we think that you guys appreciate that, so we make sure to do that for you. If you get the fat quarter bundle, you are getting a complete panel in that. And of course you can only order one panel. We're not going to cut you half a panel. So this one's really cool. We have a couple of panels available just on their own, but we also have them in the fat quarter bundle. So let's take a look at the additional fabrics that are in the fat quarter bundle. You can see them all behind me, but they're also really pretty in here. Let's take a closer look. This one is just so bright and fun. It has that pink, but it also has those blues in it, and there's some really deep ones in there as well. So they're just really fun to work with. This is a nice floral. It is kind of directional. It's going up, but you don't have to let that scare you. It can go any which way in your quilt. Now we're getting into some of those deeper purples, and these are flowers that are popping out. They look a little bit like hydrangeas to me, but in very neon colors. It also kind of looks like fireworks if you kind of look at it that way as well. We're back to a deeper print again. These are really deep magentas, some purples and violets in there, along with some really bright blues and pinks and corals to kind of make that pop. This is the darkest background, but you can see that the print is very vibrant because we have all these almost neon colors that you see within the rest of the collection that are really popping out here. It's the same one that we looked at a little bit before where it looks like those hydrangeas, but it's really fun. If you wanted to, you could really fussy cut and really make the most of these flowers, or you can just slice and dice and see where everything ends up. We just saw this in those deep pinky purples, but this one has a little bit of purple, but it's mostly a lot of navy and dark blues as well. This is one of my favorites. We're getting a little bit lighter with the blue. It's still a very dark background, but because of those neon tossed squares, it really brightens up the fabric. This would be a great basic, you could even use it as, or as sort of to fill in and help support one of those big prints. We haven't seen this one before. It's a bunch of florals going up and down, and it's just really fun how they're able to use so many colors. You typically, with screen printing, you're limited in the amount of colors that you can use, but that's just not the case in digital, and they really have made use of getting as many colors as they can in this and really having them fade very nicely from one into another. We've seen this print before, but we have lots of different colors of not pastel. They're like the pastel colors of pink and yellow and green, but they're much more vibrant than that, and it's really a fun one. Now we're moving into the greens, and now we've got a green back, and we still have that pink and purple on the top, and you can see how it just looks very different depending on what background you put behind it. More floral, but this time again in green, but it's got those kind of neon colors in the background, that blue and that pink, that really just make everything pop. Now we're getting to the lightest prints. I wouldn't call this one a neutral yet because we have a lot going on. It's that bigger floral print, and you can just really see how it almost looks like watercolor, the way they're able to achieve that color fade with the digital inks. It really is stunning and makes for really beautiful fabric that pushes the boundaries of what we thought was possible with fabric design. We're back to all those tossed squares. They're looking really cool. They're still kind of keeping the same color family. We still have some blues and pinks, but it just looks totally different on this white background. Again, I still wouldn't call this a neutral, but it definitely is a nice supporting player to help bring out some of those bigger prints that we've seen in the collection. back to those flower blossoms, again in all the different colors. It really looks neon, but in a fun, sophisticated way. I really like this, and it really brightens my mood. All right, now this is the first time I've seen this particular print in the collection. I would consider this the closest we've got to neutral, because we do have all the colors in it, but it's a very nice light background, and the prints are spaced out pretty far apart, and they're on a very small scale. So if you wanted to make everything else pop, this would be the candidate for your background, or you could always go for one of the really dark ones, because everything's going to pop against that as well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this new collection that we got. Again, it's called Bright Side by Wishwell for Robert Kaufman. We have fat quarter bundles that include that panel. It is just so gorgeous. I mean, look at these colors. They're just so pretty, and you can fussy cut that to your heart's content and really have some fun with it, and then just sort of use those as blocks and then surround it with the rest of these piece blocks and really have a quilt top very quickly. We also have it available on its own, as well as yardage on its own, as you can see behind me. All right, well, if you are interested in this, make sure you go to our website, shop.quiltaddictsanonymous.com. If you've been watching along, you've been wondering why we have so many product videos and so few quilting tutorials, it's because I just turned in my third book to my publisher. It's going to be out this fall. It is a follow-up to our Fat Quarter Workshop, which is available now. You can get that on our website. But we're going to be back to our regular schedule of tutorials next week, and we're going to be in a Stashin' with Stephanie week, so we're going to have lots of great video content for you. And so stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe, and go get this. I don't think it's going to hang around long. This is just so beautiful and pretty. Thanks so much, and until next time, happy quilting. Alrighty, we're good.